Hello everyone, welcome back to the Osteo and Physio YouTube channel. For today's 5-minute routine, we're going to be looking at how to release tension through the forearm, into the wrist and down into the fingers. So the best place to start for the first 30 seconds is to stretch through the different muscles of the forearm. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the hand down, bend the wrist and then stretch the forearm forward. So what we're stretching here are the external rotators, so the extension and also the supinator muscles. So we're going to hold this here for 30 seconds. So you should feel it pulling down into the forearm and then from the side into this position. So you're bending forward into this position, holding for 30 seconds. What we're then going to move on to for the next 30 seconds is looking at the flexors and the pronators. So same concept, but you're turning the hand up and then stretching it forward. So we're holding this for 30 seconds. So again, you should be feeling this on the inner part of the forearm, inner part of the elbow area. So holding that here, so from the side, turning it up, stretching it forward, holding this for 30 seconds. So we're going to keep it in this position. So keep holding, feeling the stretch and then relaxing. What we're then going to move on for the next 30 seconds is starting to release through the forearm. So it gets incredibly tight down through. So we're going to start off with some movement and pressure. So we're holding it here, we're turning as if we're using like a screwdriver. You're turning the wrist and you're inhibiting the outer part first, so also down here, you're inhibiting through. So you're trying to relax it basically around those supinators and the extensors. That's for the next 30 seconds. So you're just trying to get fresh blood to the area. So you're literally releasing through, so stretching and holding into those muscles. For the next 30 seconds after this, what you're now going to do is feel down the same area, but when you get a real point of tightness, you're going to hold it there. So you want to take the pressure to about until you're feeling about 8 out of 10, and then you're going to hold it still and let it relax. And these are releasing deep, deep trigger points into these muscles. So same again, moving down, finding a trigger point and holding it there. And this is a great way to get kind of those real deep points of tightness. So holding it in this position and then again moving it down. So keep holding for the last couple of seconds. And then what we're next moving on to for the next 30 seconds is same on this side. So what you're doing is you're turning the hand in and using your thumb to release the tension. So again, you're moving it down. So you're looking at those real kind of pronators and flexor muscles. So you're using that pressure and you can really feel it. So what you can add is like coconut oil, olive oil, if you're finding that it's a little bit grippy, a little bit pinchy, but you're trying to get fresh blood to the area, because that's what happens when it gets so tight, is you want to improve that blood flow. And then same for the next 30 seconds is you're finding points of tightness. So you're holding it. So again, you can either do it on yourself or get your partner to do this, but you're basically going to hold the pressure, and so you're waiting until that knot releases and you'll feel it like a widening, you'll feel it release, and then moving down again, there's a little bit here that's quite tender. You want to hold that pressure with the thumb, you want to fix it there and allow it to relax, and it's so key because they get so tight. And then holding it there and then relaxing. For the next 30 seconds, we're moving on to releasing through the hand. So this is one of my favourite things to do if it's got really, really tight. So what you've got is the thenar and the hypothenar eminence. So you're going to use your thumb to stretch down towards the fingers. So you're stretching all the way through and it gets unbelievably tight through here. So you're going to spend 30 seconds just stretching down each of the fingers. So you're working your way across into the hand, and it's just so, so nice. And then very similar for the next 30 seconds is normally around the thumb we find little knots of tightness. So using the other thumb to just push in and hold. So similar to what we did with the forearm, you're holding that trigger point for a couple of seconds. So adding the pressure until it's about an 8 out of 10 and then holding that still, and it feels so nice because it gets so tight. And then moving across, we might find it in the hypothenar eminence, so same here, finding a point of tightness and just holding that still and waiting for that to relax. Once you've softened through, for the next 30 seconds, you want to start to traction through the fingers. So this is great because if we're typing all day, it gets so stiff and tight through these joints. And then moving on to the next one. So what you do is you're fixing one hand still and pulling away. So you're literally pulling away the joint, very, very gentle. So this is great. This is something that we do with our clients with quite severe osteoarthritis, just trying to get a little bit of synovial fluid into the joint and then holding there. What you're then going to move on to the next 30 seconds is the same thing with a little bit of circumduction. So you're fixing around the thumb, you're pulling it towards you, and then on end range you're doing a very gentle circular motion. So you're literally moving through. Same on the next one, you're just circling the finger. So it's so nice. You're adding circles, to the finger movement, circling, made up a new word. And you're literally pulling and then adding in that circle movement at the end range. Same again, keep going, circular motion. Once you've done that for 30 seconds, you are gonna relax. As an extra bonus move that me and Oliver have spoken about today is we always think it's quite nice to get it moving. So just a couple of reps extra. We were saying, you know, getting a little bit of flexion and extension into the elbow. Oliver tends to do one where he turns it the opposite way, like a duck's head, where he goes down that way, and that's mobilising through the radial head. So as you're here, you're turning and then bringing it out in front. So you're doing a couple of movements this way, or just natural bending and extending, and then coming into a lovely circular motion, of the shoulder. So again, you're flushing through, because yes, the tightness in the forearm, yes, we're feeling it in the wrist, but it's also lovely just to get the whole of the joints moving all the way down into the hand.